I have a question for Ozzie and John, and that has to do with Demetrius. If I remember back at the draft last year, it was about the time when there was a lot of discussion about wide receivers, what you were going to do to upgrade. And it was your position, Ozzie, that you thought Demetrius would be the guy that would step up. My question is now, what happened there? Why did it not? I think that's a question that you and John probably could answer. Why do you think it didn't happen? Was that a coaching thing? Was that a missed appraisal of Demetrius? Was that a bad work ethic on Demetrius' part?
Well, I think you have to look at it in the sense that what happened with Demetrius was Derek, Mark, and Kelly Washington. We created a competitive situation there, and John and Cam has the responsibility to put the best three receivers out on the field when we go to a 3-wide receiver set, and the best 2 on the field when we're in a 2-wide receiver set. So I think the competition at that position lend itself to Demetrius being the number 4 receiver.
Yeah, just to kind of, so why is that? And I think Demetrius would say this too. He's not able yet to do enough. You've got to be able to run the kind of routes, catch the ball in pressure situations, break the thing off at the right depth, make the right adjustments against pressure in pressure situations, and do the kind of things that are going to help us move the football and win games. And those other 3 guys did that better off-season, training camp, and throughout the year. And I think we try to put Demetrius in situations to be successful as much as we could, and we need more. I think he'd tell you he wants to do more, and he needs to be a better player to give us what we were looking for.
Ozzie, you talked at length about drafting based on a best player available type of strategy as compared to drafting for need. Do you see a situation, not to make it a tactical question or to get into any specifics, but do you see that maybe shifting a little bit this year and having to draft more towards a specific position or something that you need to address specifically?
I think you could answer that question yourself. I mean, I know the majority of the guys that are in this room and young ladies can answer that question for you. I'll never put this organization in a position where need becomes more apparent than the best player. It's not a philosophy that I've had from the very beginning. I think the success that we've had has been built on that. But no, that's not going to change.
Steve, a couple years ago, you talked about one of your goals was to eliminate the up and down nature of the team's results. The last 2 years, consistently in the playoffs, shot at being in the playoffs for a 3rd year in a row for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. How concerned are you with the uncertainty of the CBA future impacting your team's ability to do that?
I'm not worried at all. I don't see a correlation there, Jerry, because I think we've got the best cap guys and the best guys to draft, the scouts and everything. So I'm on an even playing field with the rest of my partners. And, I may not have as much experience as some of the other owners, but this guy got next to me here, and Eric and all those guys have just put me in a position where we can still spend. And so I'm still putting my team up against the other teams in the league, and I think we're as strong as anybody out there. So I don't think that the problems with the CBA are going to impact me in any way, shape, or form. More, if anything, I think it'll be less because of the talent that we have in this building. I'm looking forward to the constraint, because if there's any constraints, then to me it makes your decisions that much more important, and I'm going to rely on the guys that I have.
John, Steve talked about Joe Flacco being the key. It seemed to me, anyhow, he had a sort of up and down year, uneven year. Do you think that was because of just experience, injury, confidence? Or do you disagree with that?
Well, Stan, and all those things probably to some degree, and a lot of other things, that lead to a performance of any player. So, how many quarterbacks went through the whole season and had that completely consistent season? 1 or 2. Maybe they're both playing in this next game. So, and that's what we need out of Joe, and that's what we're building towards. And to me, it's kind of a 2-rail attack. We've got, on the one hand, do everything we can do to continue to grow Joe as a football player. And that planning is in motion right now. And it goes from Steve. Steve's a part of that. Ozzie, Dick's a part of that. Through Jim Zorn and Cam Cameron and myself. And all the other, and it's all of our responsibility to build that plan up for the offseason to help him grow as a player. But, I think you have to look at Joe's progress and say he's pretty much on track. But there are a lot of places there's a lot of room to grow into. And Joe's committed to doing that. And then do everything we can to put the best players around him, like you always do with every position. We attack that like we're, with a great enthusiasm, which is what we're going to do. So we make him better, put the best players around him we can, and then make him the best player he can be in year 3. That's what our job is.